Alright guys, here is the first time we're in my new bathroom. The house that I have purchased, such a blessing to be able to get it. There were definitely obstacles in the way, but we persevered. I've got 3 doors. I've got 3 doors in this bathroom. So I have the same gear as usual. So some things do remain the same, right? We've got Chiseled Face Midnight Stag, and this is their OG base. It's a tallow base that they've had for such a long time. On the Nacet blade that we're going to be using, it's 598 is probably the use number. It may be 99. You can check the details of the video. Let's see if I've kept a good count on my card here. The Smoke Owners Club with the Taj handle is the brush that we'll be using, and it's been soaking for a good while. And then the Timeless Open Comb stainless steel razor at the 68 gap is my weapon of choice. Let's put the blade in. Took it out because, of course, I was moving. Now I've got these little wall sconces on that side and on that side. And so in a sense, it has good light in terms of coverage. I don't really have any bad shadows. But we'll have to see if it gives you guys a good view of the blade. Now, if I tap on the screen, hopefully it can focus or something like that. Maybe it only does it for the light exposure. But here is the blade. I heard back from Ron, who makes Chiseled Face soaps, and he clarified the mystery of the ingredients. It is the same base. Whether it says silk amino acids as the last point in the ingredients list, or if it says silk powder, it's the same. One of them is INCI compliant, I think is what he said. Maybe that's an international standard. And I did mention this when I started raising the question a little while back, a few weeks ago. But yeah, it turns out that's what it is. He's only got 2 bases. He's got the Silk Tallow, which is the newer base, and he's got his OG Tallow. That's the older one. So I did have this soap marked as maybe a different base, but I did put a question mark on it because after all, we just weren't sure. So some of my shaves on YouTube here, I might go back and change the descriptions and update them. But if I don't, then that's what's going on. We have, I'm using the same little camera mount that I've used for a long time, and it's really cheap. But it's functioned off of kind of a hookover principle. And right now that it doesn't, I like to have the camera pointed down at me because then it's easier to show you lather, that sort of thing. And I'm not able to do that. I'm having to hang it kind of in front of me. And so it's definitely got me framed higher in the frame that I want. But for now, I just want to get the shave taken care of. And I will shop online for maybe a different mount. And we'll see what we can do. All right. One thing I wanted to do is show you guys a recent haul from Maggard Razors. I told you that I was going to order a new cologne for the Midnight Stag because mine is getting a little bit less. Isn't that wild, the color difference? Maybe it's just because there's so little left, it's more opaque, you know. But this is how Maggard Razors sends out their products in terms of the colognes. I also ordered some stuff from Noble Otter because I have really loved the label for this card series that they have. They have Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. Ace looked like the one that had a scent profile that was most like what I would enjoy. And some of the other ones had more florals, some of them were more spicy, and just wasn't me. And I just think this is gorgeous. It's got a great classic look to it. It smells a little fruity with those undertones that that they mentioned in the write-up, like woody or amber or something like that. It's not immediately jumping out to me as a favorite just because of that sweetness is riding a little more advanced. If you ever get a soap tub in that's brand new and you smell it, it is possible that it will shave very differently than it smells, or at least slightly differently. But a lot of times it is pretty much the same. So you can make that call as to whether you want to sell it back to sell it back on Shave Bazaar, and people will like a lot that it has not been used. You can also take a scoop. If you think you're not going to like it, you can scoop with your with a spoon or a teaspoon or something like that. And some people do like it better if it's a scooped soap. But if you brush load in it, then there's still going to be people that buy it because we all know it's just soap. It's hard for bacteria to grow here. So while I like it and I love the artwork, I just don't. I'm going to have to think about that one, whether I want to just sell it kind of unused or not. After I made the purchase, it hit me, wait a minute. Problem with Noble Otter and me is that a lot of times their scent strength is not very strong, and it's just not really in and among me when I'm using it. And to me, that's kind of the whole point. So that's a question mark, but a big thumbs up on the artwork. From Noble Otter also, I ordered Logbook. Again, their art is tremendous on this one. Now this one, it's got some notes that I think I would definitely, if I had this as a big tub, I would definitely think about keeping it and trying it without any kind of regard for caution. It does kind of have a musty book smell, but it's combining a few things in there as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that guy out. And lastly, I got some Tabac, because this is the new version, I believe, the vegan version, and I need to try that out. Some people say that it performs really, really well, and they're really happy with it. Other people say it's just different, and so you're just decide whether you like the difference or not. I definitely don't want to be one of those people that just say, hey, it's vegan now, beef tallow is the way to go, and anything that switches away from it should just not even be reviewed, that sort of thing. And it is disappointing that more people are getting away from beef tallow, especially because it seems to be easier to make a tallow soap and have it be good. It seems harder, or let's just say, just from the evidence that I've seen of the vegan soaps that I've tried, it seems to be harder to make a vegan soap at the beef tallow level. So we'll see if Maurer and Wirtz, right? Isn't that their name? Yeah, Maurer and Wirtz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right since it seems to be German, but we'll give that guy a fair shake as the vegan formulation. It still has the same Tabac scent, doesn't seem to be any different. That should be easy enough to maintain, right? All right, well, let's get into the shave. Let me get my face wet. Got a lever now instead of knobs. One nice thing is I have a towel rack to my left, and so I can just place my towel there when I'm not using it currently. The razor is loaded. So knowing that Midnight Stag and all other chiseled face soaps are the OG base, and there's no newer version other than the Silk Tallow, why did it seem like this, if it was a new base, this particular one, because this one says silk amino acids, why did it feel like it was a superior lather? My guess is because this slurry lather method that I'm so often using this month, I think it sets this base, the OG base, in a really good light. Still, bowl lathers made with this soap in the traditional way, especially slowly adding water, seem to not be maybe the best way to lather this soap in terms of trying to get that top-notch slickness and that creaminess at the same time. So I got to thinking, maybe it's all about the process. Maybe it's all about the mixing, the adding water, something in those variables. And something I've touched on recently is that, and I mentioned this but even before I realized, even before Ron got back to me about the base, was that adding water quickly into the bowl instead of slowly might be good with this soap. And that theory, that little hypothesis, might support the fact that this is the same base. And so my bowl lather's my usual method is to add water a little more slowly and watch the lather come together. And maybe this one just doesn't work well with that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to add all that water right up front, and even more than usual, and see what we get. Man, my counter down here, looking down at it, it's so dark. The little sconces here are LED lights, and they are kind of pointing most of their light upward. They have that base, and so none of the light is going down. And so my counter is actually kind of dim here. I do have a light above me. Oh, yep, it's just out of frame there. And so that is so funny to be having so much brightness right here. I'm glad it doesn't affect you guys, I think. This looks like a pretty good brightness, right? For you guys, so that's good. So I'm going to take out the brush out of the water, and as usual, just give it a couple shakes for this particular slurry lather type method. No, I was going to go for the bowl lather. That's right. So I'm going to shake it out a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Yeah, 10 was giving us enough, so we're going to stop at 10. Nothing got on the thread, so I don't need to rinse off the soap tub side of it. And now, here we go. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to take my jigger, and I'm going to put about 30 milliliters of water in the soap. As you can imagine, I have been moving and dealing with boxes and all kinds of things like that. So I'm kind of tired and sore. So I'm going to just do 2 passes today and let that be it. Midnight Stag is the splash also, as usual. And it looks like in the bowl there, not only do I easily have enough for 3 passes, but Wow, I think I probably have enough for 6. But that does stand to reason since we loaded a total of 16 swirls, and 10 swirls is usually enough to do 4 passes or 5 sometimes, and yeah, definitely that. But I just had to go back and load more since I probably added a little too much water at the start. So that's how we learn, right? Maybe next time don't add 30, or shake my brush out a little bit more before I add 30. You know, that could be the right way as well. So it's just a matter of trial and error sometimes. And then you change to another soap base and you kind of have to start over again. Some guys keep logs. If you just want to stick with 2 different soap bases, then you might be able to keep that in your head, but maybe keep logs about your load times and that, just to help you be more consistent with your lather. All right, so that's another ding. And here, this is a smaller room, and it doesn't have a shower curtain because the shower is through that room. It's one of those situations where you have a little sink and a different room for the toilet and shower. There's a nickname for that, but I can't remember what everybody was saying. Son and daughter thing, husband and wife thing. I don't remember what people were saying. Midnight Stag is also the cologne. And because it doesn't have a shower and it's just hard walls, I feel there's a little bit more of an audio echo. Hopefully that's not a disadvantage to you guys. I think we're good. I'm just going to clean up my gear. It's not a very big sink down here. This is the brush after a good sling out in the sink there. I have discovered it's quicker when you want to clean your brush, get all that lather out of it, which is important for natural hair brushes. If you want it to be faster, then just gently squeeze the lather out and then rinse your bowl out and get the existing lather out first before you then let the water run in the bowl and kind of pump the brush a little bit to give it a really good clean out. If you put the brush in there with the lather in it and then it's still got the lather in the bowl, it can take a while for that to circulate out. But if you kind of evacuate it all right away, then the rinsing process is a little quicker. I don't have my hair dryer, so I won't be able to give it a hair dryer treatment this time, but we'll pick that up on another run back to the other place. And there we go. I will work this on a towel here, and there we go. So he will dry happily on the sink counter here. I've got my Sharpie so I can keep my dot up to date this time. And I think that is going to do us. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Have a good night.